unplug the pump. Cut water supply off. That, I guess. Leave that open. That's the drain. It goes to the cold water outside. You drain the hot water through the cold water line. The valve is outside. Once you open the valve outside, come in here, open this. That allows air to get into the tank and drain. The top's outside here. So what you want to do is turn on the cold tap. That will drain the hot water out of the hot water tank. The outside drain's open. So now you want to open this up to give it air into the tank. You hear it gurgling. So it's draining. If I go outside, you should see the hot water coming out of that drain. And here's the hot water coming out of the drain, which is on the left. Normally that would be cold water, but because we're using it as the drain, it's hot water. You can hear the hot water tank draining. At this point, turn off the hot water heater. Otherwise you'll fry the element. The tank is drained, so now you can close this. Plug on. Cap it. Next step sucks. You want to take the shark bite fittings apart. So the shark bite fittings on the bypass. So you want to take them off from here back. Leave this on the hot water tank. Leave this on the hot water tank. Just exposed tube. Then you can slide the bypass onto it. Use this tool here. One of the ends is wider than the other. You're going to want to slip it on like this. One on one side of the union, one on the other side. When you squeeze it together, it's going to push this little plastic sleeve in, making this easier to pop off. It's a good idea to have a bowl and some paper towels ready, because there's still going to be a little bit of water that comes out of the hot water tank, which I am now cleaning up. Clean any water that got onto the hot water tank. That'll just keep it from rusting. Shark bite fittings have been disconnected. You just got the blank pipe now. So you just want to make sure that that's clean. It gets used up over time, so eventually you'll have to replace it, but you can use these shark bites over and over. Now you're just, all you got to do, slide this on, push it, that's it. No special tools, no nothing. You just slide it on and it's good. Ta-da! Easy as that. So now the line's bypassed. As you can see, hot water tank's disconnected. It's over here, you can move it around. So now everything that's going through all the lines will just be simply cold water from the supply that the pump's pushing through. So at this point in time, you got no hot water left, but you can use cold water. I haven't hooked up the antifreeze yet. So now you're going to want to open this valve back up. I'll do that here eventually, I think. Hey. There. So now it's back open, and you can turn the pump back on, use water. So the pump looks like this. So for the antifreeze, I'm going to take this hose here, connect it like so. And once you open this and close this, instead of drawing the water from the tank outside, which is this supply line, it's going to draw whatever you put at the end of this hose. For us, it's not going to be a keg of beer yet. It's going to be antifreeze, which I've already preloaded into this 20-liter pail. Now ready for the antifreeze. Turn the supply off. Now you can't suck any water from the tank. Instead, we're going to take it from the antifreeze bucket. So here is the hose. Stick that in there. This valve is open. This is tight. Hose is in the tank of antifreeze. This valve is off. Everything else is open. All the valves are open. The bypass is on for the hot water, so we're not putting antifreeze in there. And now you can just open all the different taps, and then it'll start sucking from the antifreeze. As soon as it turns pink, close that tap and move on to the next one. Here we go. Start seeing the pink, and we got pink. Do both taps. This is now the hot water tap. It's not coming from the hot water tank, it's bypass. Again, because there's a lot of hot water left in the hot water line, it's going to take a bit, a lot less. It's pink, and you're good. Both bathroom taps are done. Move on to the bathtub. Remember, you gotta wait for it to turn pink. Pink, now turn it all the way over to the hot. And pink. You want to do the shower too, so. Pink. 2 taps in the kitchen. Get those to pink. And another one. Clear. And pink. There's 2 taps outside. Pink. And pink. This tap on this side. It's nice because you can actually see it come up through there. So you just want to turn that on. Let it run through the hose. And it should turn pink. There. So now I know it's pink up to here. That's good. I can run it through the hose if I want. I don't really have to. So you can leave this just open. But I have extra antifreeze, so I'm going to do it. Last but not least, the toilet. So, what you want to do is turn this valve off. Drain the tank by flushing it. Do you have to go pee? Nope. It's almost empty. Just flush it again. What you want to do is make sure you're getting all the water. We'll do that last. So, I'm going to turn the valve back on until I see this start to turn pink. Does not take long. So now that it's starting to turn pink, I know that all the water that's in here isn't water actually, it's antifreeze, because it's all the way to this section. Now I'm just going to suck the toilet out, the bowl, the tank, then we're good to go. Okay, so I've sucked the toilet out, sucked the tank out. What you want to do now is put a little bit of antifreeze. Got another jug, pour a little in there so that it just sits in the toilet. Otherwise, you're gonna have sewer gases coming from the septic tank coming back up here, and that's gross. I'll also just dump a little bit in here. I'll let it come from the line just to make sure that I've bled the line out. I might just dump a little bit on top just to make sure that there's no water left anywhere. It's gonna freeze.
clean the walls.
It doesn't have to be much. Now, open this valve up a little bit and let some in from the top. Boom. Even more. Done. Now you're winterized. So that's how much antifreeze I usually pick up. That way you know you got lots. 20 liters in there, so 2 of these jugs, and then a third one just for stuff like filling the toilet. If you leave the tap on like outside when you're bleeding the hot water tank and you forget, then you'll burn through 5 liters of this pretty quickly. So it's good to have extra, and obviously it's not going to freeze, so you can use it later, future years. But everything should be winterized now. You can see the tubes, just kind of nice. You can actually see that everything's pink, it's bypassed. We're all good. It's good for a year. Now what you want to do is disconnect the cistern underneath the cabin and open the valves, drain out this rest of the water that's in the cistern, and leave those valves open. Once you do that, you can come back in here and open that valve. Once the inside is all winterized, you got pink coming from everywhere, what you want to do is open this valve that drains this entire cistern. I already opened it, so when it's in line like that with the actual water line, then it's open. So it's open right now, it's draining. There's not much water left in here, so it's pretty much drained already. The last thing you want to do is disconnect this. This is the line that goes from the cistern into the house to supply water. Pull these cotter pins out, keep them somewhere handy, like right there. Pops back, and that pops back, and there you go. So to turn this off, prevent it from flooding under the cabin, just come and shut this valve. That way it's not flowing out of the tank anymore, and it should be flowing out of this drain only. What you want to do is make sure that you open that valve back up before you leave, otherwise the water that's in it will freeze and you'll break it. You can see it's draining. That's the big drain. Once that stops flowing out of there, I'm going to crack that valve back open on the back of the watershed. Drain the last little bit under the cabin. It's the only way it can go. Once this big drain line pretty much stopped flowing, open this back up. Water's going to flow out of here for a while. I just bagged up the other side. No insects and stuff can crawl into the water line now. Kind of do the same with that, I guess, once it stops running. Another bag here for that. And then that's it. You're done.